All right, joining us now, he is the general manager of the Utah Hockey Club, which kicks off the season tonight. Can't wait. It's a historic day here in Salt Lake City, and Bill Armstrong's kind enough to join us. Bill, how are you?
Hey, Bill.
I'm doing good, gentlemen. How are you guys doing today?
Excited to catch up with you again.
Not as good as you are, man. Congrats. I know this has been a crazy whirlwind 5-6 months for you, but it all wraps up today as you get ready for a big one. Just how fired up are you for the culmination of what I got to imagine has been a lot of sleepless nights for you and your crew?
Yeah, it's truly. I mean, I was just down by the rink there, and it's just the atmosphere. It's incredible right now down there. It's just a buzz. People are so excited. Our players are excited about playing. They looked a little nervous in warm-up, but pregame warm-up. But we're ready to go. We played 7 exhibition games. Been through a grueling training camp. The boys are ready to play. Let's put it this way: if you can't get excited about tonight playing in that rink, you're in the wrong business.
Hey, what's training camp been like?
It's been good. Coaches put them, it's been hard. We had a lot of returning players, which were good. Everybody came in a real good shape, and we went 5-2 in the exhibition season, which doesn't mean a whole lot, but it gives you a little bit of confidence in how you're playing. Our guys played real well. Some standouts were, obviously the Kellers and the Coolies and the Gunthers and the Doans and the Sergachevs were real good. So I think this group is matured since last year. You could see it in training camp and the way that they approached it with the intensity and effort. And, it's going to be a fun year for us, and it's going to be a fun night.
You mentioned Keller. How is it? How do you come to the decision to make him a captain? Is it a team vote? Is it a coach vote? Or how is that named on this squad?
Well, with Keller, we did a lot of work on the simple fact of did we, we looked at him. He's the best player on our team. He's extremely competitive. He holds his teammates and himself to a very, very high standard, which we liked, and that was kind of the deciding factor for us. He'd won 2 championships with USA. And for us, when we talked to the other players about it, they came back to the same guy all the time about him being a leader, and them respecting him and who he was on the team. So for us, it was obviously there were some other guys that were close, but he's the one guy that stuck out, and he's very confident and comfortable with the C. And we talked to him about his approach and how he would lead, and we were very impressed by his thought process and what type of captain he wanted to be.
Has this transition gone fast, or has it really drug for you, Bill?
It seems like it's been 5 years. Like it does. It's just dragged, but in a good way. And then you look back and you go, it's only really been 5 months or whatever, and it's been everything packed in, So it's been great, and I think for us, the only my dogs have got this false impression that it's going to be warm here because it's warm in October, and I keep telling the dogs, I know it's 81, 82 degrees out there, but it's not like this in the winter.
You're going to want to shed that coat, boys. You're going to want to shed it.
Yeah. But the transition's been really smooth with the group, SEG and Ryan Smith and Ashley Smith. They've been unbelievable for us and just been there for us and help create buildings, get everything done for what it needs to be an NHL team. And it's been an incredible process to go through.
I know that you're probably still a ways away from, a lot of the designs, but you are working on a practice facility as well. How fun is it for you to be able to say, okay, Ryan, this is what we need out of our practice facility. When you renovate the arena, this is what we need out of this and this and this, and to really kind of structure things and to kind of tailor-make it the way that you want it?
That's the beauty of it, right? Like, even our dressing room with the LED lights and everything, it's elite. And we have a chance to go in and make an elite practice facility. I'm going to say it's going to be the best practice facility in the NHL, state-of-the-art, by the time it's done. And, that has a lot to do with Ryan's thinking, just about being progressive and making it the best. And we've got a couple guys on staff that are just unbelievable at designing stuff. And my big thing as GM, own your space. whether you're the skate sharpener or you're the medical guy or the coaches, own your space, perfect your space, and pass it along to the architects. Let's get the best of the best and be a first-class organization. And SEG's allowed us to do that. It's been impressive so far, and we're looking to build that facility out in Southtown. It's going to be amazing.
So, Bill, Barrett Hayden hung out with us on air for a little bit yesterday, and I asked him who the toughest guys on the team were, and he gave me Liam O'Brien and Sean Dursey, I believe, were the two he gave me. Did he hit it on the head? And where does Barrett Hayden, where does he fit in on the toughness scale?
Well, Hayes is tough in a different way. He's tough in a hockey way where it's like he'll go back to the same area and take a beating. He's not afraid. He'll go to the hard areas and play in the tough ways, and that's being tough too. Going back to the same area you're going to take punishment in. That to me is being tough. Where Durs will throw down. He's a competitor. He does it out of pure competing. Where Liam is more of a protective of our team, and they're tough in their own different ways, but they're all tough guys. To play the game of hockey is not an easy thing, and you play for us in Utah. We demand a lot of our players, and we expect them to be tough in different ways, but you got to be tough.
I asked this to a lot of coaches, both in the NBA and the NFL and college football as well, and I'm kind of curious to get your thoughts. Is it hard to identify toughness in a hockey club or in a hockey player when they're coming up through college or their clubs or whatever, when they're normally probably, if you're considering drafting them, the best player on their team, so you can sometimes disguise toughness just by sheer athleticism? Or is it pretty easy to see, oh, no, this guy's tough, and he'll fit into our DNA?
It goes both ways on that. Like I always say, you don't teach a baby shark to bite. They just know how to bite. So a lot of times that's in you. The other times it's in you, but we can't see it. Like we drafted a kid one time named Samuel Blaze. He played 4 years in front of us, and he never threw one hit. There he is in the seventh game in the NHL, in the conference finals, knocking Jamie Benn around the ice with body checks. So there's some stuff you can't see in people at times that comes out, but most times it's in them, and you see that with your scouting and when you're bringing them along.
How cool is this start, too? Chicago Blackhawks, the iconic Blackhawks, a beautiful opener. One of my favorite sweaters in the league, and it's all kicking off with this here tonight with them. Tell me a little bit about this team. I mean, that was one of the things I was excited to catch up with you on, is just start to know these other teams a little bit. How good are the Blackhawks, and what should we expect tonight?
Well, first of all, I don't like the Blackhawks. I don't know if anybody else doesn't like them. But let's be honest. I grew up as a St. Louis Blue. I worked for them for 16 years. They throttled us for how many countless times, and we had great teams. I have no love for them. We did beat them in the seventh game with Troy Brouwer, put that one home. But they're an incredible franchise, always been. They won the lottery. They got Bedard. He's a superstar, unbelievable human being, unbelievable kid. And now they're trying to build around, and they're trying to build in the rebuild. And they're much like us in the rebuild. They've thrown a lot of draft picks at it, and they're a young team with some veterans sprinkled in, and they're trying to take a step. And we're looking to push them down the steps. How's that sound?
I like it. I like it a lot. You talk about steps, and you've been really big in saying we're not going to skip steps. We're going to do this the right way. We're going to build this the way that it needs to be built. But then you got, some national talking heads that make their predictions and have you guys in the playoffs. So I know I'm putting you in a weird spot here, but where are your realistic expectations for this team this year?
Well, here's my thing: is we're fourth year into the rebuild, and there's not many teams that have ever made the playoffs in fourth year coming out of the rebuild. It's really a hard thing to do because you're pretty young at that time, in which we are. I think we might be the second youngest team in the National Hockey League this year. So we're still going to be young. When you're young, you make a lot of mistakes. We expect to go to the rink and win every day. That's what we do. We try to win the day. So I don't want to take dreams away from our players. I'm just giving you a little bit of reality, and the problem is a lot of teams go into a rebuild. There's not many teams that come out of a rebuild and actually win it. And if you look at Canada, they have the most amount of media that covers their teams. The last team in Canada won 30 years ago. Think about that. 30 years ago. And one of the things is they're trying be the best they can be every day, and they're throwing all their picks and money towards it, and they haven't allowed their teams to grow in the proper steps. Most of the teams that are winning championships, have done it through the process. And if you look at, Florida, who won it last year, all their defensemen are 28 years old. They're not 20, they're 28. And the majority of their teams have played 7-8 years, and they drafted a number one superstar in Barkov and Ekblad, and had a goaltender, Bob, that was an unbelievable goaltender, but they did that over a course of a lot of time. And so it takes time to build championship teams, and if you rush it, normally it doesn't end well for you. So we want to make sure we build this the right way.
So, Bill, how has Andre the Bear, how has he handled the whole transition, the coach?
Well, he's been real good. Bears, he's got vast experience at coaching, so he's seen almost every situation possible. He's hard on the guys. He pushes them. He wants them to be at their best, He's also pretty good at bringing them along and knowing, hey, listen, it's going to take some time to kind of perfect our system and perfect our play and slowly kind of build every day on it. But he's good. He's a unique coach where he's hard on players. He challenges players, but at the same time, he has a good relationship with his players.
What is this time of year like for you? Because you do a lot of your heavy lifting and free agency and the draft, but what does you and your department, what kind of mode do you guys shift into as the season begins?
Well, we're kind of like, we're on the entire training camp. You're just on the entire time, so it's kind of a relief at this time of the year that you get to watch your team play, and that's what you're focused on. And everything else is kind of taken care of. All your prospects are signed. They're back in junior and the minors, and you're monitoring them. But it's really a good time of the year to come in and watch your team and obviously be very, observant of what's going on and help the team grow with the coach.
So you take care of the Blackhawks tonight, then you guys start this lengthy road trip. Walk us through these road trips. Help the new NHL fans and the NHL fans here in this state understand what these road trips are like. You go to New York, you're gonna see 2 games of action in New York, then 1 in New Jersey, and then you're all the way back to the West Coast at Anaheim. Long trip.
Yeah.
Are those exhausting? How exhausting? Kind of catch us up on that.
Well, that's a hard trip that you do every year. And you want to win, like you're playing in Madison Square Garden, so it's probably, to me, it's one of the best places you can play hockey in. So, and they're a good team, right? So you're trying to steal points out of there. You're trying to steal points out of New Jersey, which is an upcoming really good team. And the Islanders which are always tough. So it's a battle on that road trip. You hunker down usually in one place in New York and you kind of bust in and out of the other places. But it's exciting to be in New York City. You get a good vibe. And if you can start the road trip off in the right way and get a win, boy, it feels good on the road and you're not as tired.
Hey, before we let you go, I know I'm seeing a lot of people on Twitter posting pictures. You were posing for a lot of people that wanted to get their picture taken with you. You still cut a really impressive figure. I know you're in your 50s, but you look like you're in your early 30s. How many minutes do you think you could go if you were to put on the skates and compete?
Not very long. No. It's more of at this point in time, it's like you're just keeping maintenance on your body to stay alive, and I work in the league. I don't know if you know that it's called the Never Hungry League. There's food around you 24 hours a day, so you have to, you got to work out, you got to burn the stress. So I've been fortunate my whole life to be able to work out and kind of use that 20 to 40 minutes a day and get all the stress out. But I appreciate the compliment.
There you go. Well, hey, we appreciate it. Good luck tonight. Good luck this season, and let's do this again very soon, okay?
Thanks so much, Bill.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
You got it. Bill Armstrong right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone, your general manager of the Utah Hockey Club.